Good morning, everyone. Good day, and thank you for joining us in this webinar. My name is Bonny Mark Alinga, WMI Community Development Grants Coordinator. And this morning we shall be talking about one of the programs under WMI Community Development Program, which is the SEED grant. The SEED grant is a program that has been designed for you, the graduate scholars, or those who are completing their studies in by December 31st, 2022. Or if you know you're in that category, you know this program is meant for you. Today, we shall be looking into the agenda for today is introduction of the program itself, the purpose of the webinar, the mandatory information session for the scholars who plan to apply for the SEED grant this October cycle. Then it will be opportunity for you to learn and start planning for this grant when you do qualify. We shall cover the program background, when it is started and where we are now. We shall look at the eligibility requirements. We shall know how to apply, looking into the timelines and reporting activities. And thereafter, we shall take questions and answer. So you prepare that in advance as we go through the webinar. So the community development program is designed and open for only exclusively WMI graduate scholars. And the program started in 2015. And since then, WMI has awarded 96 community development grants to 96 scholars and in amount of $103,273 out there. This is the opportunity for the scholars to design and implement the initiatives within their community and identifying the needs to be addressed using the SEED grant. It covers healthcare, education, environment, women's rights, and economic development, among others. So you can identify anything within that range. Because WMI as a team, we believe that local solutions are best done or best solutions for developed from within the community. This program has got two categories. It has SEED grant, which we are going to talk about in detail in this webinar. And then we have the growth grant that will be, we will understand it as we go along through this webinar. We have 3 application periods in a year. The first application period is in April for the SEED grant. Then the second application period is October. And this webinar is to prepare you for the October application program for the SEED grant. Then the growth grant is once in a year, and we only issue this or give this grant in September. And that is already ongoing for those who qualify and those who have implemented the SEED grant before. So as you prepare, we'll learn to talk in details about the SEED grant that you are interested in. The SEED grant is a one-time grant given up to the tune of $1,000 US. So your budget can be within 100 to 1,000 US dollars. It will be funded. The SEED grant is designed to help you kickstart the business. Kickstart or expand your business or community organization or non-governmental organization, or do a community event to ensure you are impacting life. And this and more, we will be digging deep into it. And the program covers the expenses, the operational expenses, the materials, or if you're doing community sensitization, maybe a health camp, it also covers some supplies that will help you implement such a program. It can be one time, it can be a program that will be ongoing over and over again. Who is eligible to apply for the SEED grant? For one to apply for a SEED grant, the SEED grant is open to WMI graduate scholars in good standing. What do I mean a WMI scholar in good standing? Those who completed recently the graduates who completed if you're still at school, you qualify. But if you have completed the annual survey of the WMI Graduate Scholar Survey, you qualify for that. If you have not completed, then that means you are not in good standing because you are supposed to complete the annual survey. And then those who does not qualify are those who are under board reviews, and you have a case or you have been written to over a particular issue. You do not qualify until that issue has been resolved. So if you're in that category, you know you can only qualify after the case has been resolved and closed. Now, current scholars who will be completing their final exams by December 31st are also eligible to apply. If you're in the final semester, final year, and you know you'll be doing your final exams by end of December, and by January you will be out of the university, then you're eligible to apply for this scholarship. You can start preparing as well to ensure that your application is, or your documentation is getting ready, doing a bit of research. So we can go into the next item, which is the eligibility. And what is the grant proposal eligibility? What do the seed grant proposal must cover? Now, these seed grant proposals must be within your area of study. If you're doing medicine, medicine, you cannot apply to do a project which is not in line with your medicine, a medical course. So it is supposed to support your area of studies where WMI has supported you in. You might be having a background, or you could have done a certificate or a diploma in another field, but WMI supported you to do a medical course. So WMI will not consider the certificate you did or the diploma you did under a different field, in a different field, but will only consider the degree program that you completed with the support from the WMI. You could use it for the ongoing projects. You can use it for your CBO or start a CBO within your community. Now, the eligible applicants are required to be within their nation. If you're outside your country and you're out for a short time and you want to do a project, then you do not qualify. You have to be within your country or the country where you're living in. If you have left, maybe for example, Kenya, coming to Uganda, and you're going to stay for a longer period of time, then you can implement a project in Uganda because you're going to stay for more than 12 months, and you're able to implement that project and supervise it and make it, participate in it. Because WMI encourages that for a proposal to be implemented within the scholar's area of residence, it is because you are able to supervise, implement, do oversight, participate in this program. WMI requires that for one to be eligible, for the proposal to be eligible, it should be implemented in the local community where you yourself live, and I've already explained that. The environment where you're living is where you're supposed to implement. If you are living in Nairobi and your project maybe is in Mombasa, and you are not regular in Mombasa for those who are living in Kenya, then you cannot implement a project in Mombasa because most of your time and your daily life, your daily activities are in Nairobi. So you can only do this project in Nairobi for you to implement it successfully. So only graduate scholars who have studied a field of animal science at this particular time will be eligible to apply for animal-related projects. If you have not studied animal science or veterinary science, you cannot apply for animal-related project at this point in time because of the past experience. And these are technical field that needs somebody who has been in that field, who have studied and able to implement related, and given also the conditions from various government stakeholders who wants to ensure that this kind of category of projects are implemented according to the regulations. So mark yourself, if you're a business person who studied humanity, you cannot go for this. If you did your human medicine, you cannot go for this project. So an individual can receive seed grants, cannot receive seed grant and a growth grant within the period of 12 months. So that means if you have already a running seed grant and you're implementing a project in that line, you are not eligible for this program, for this application cycle. You'll have to implement this, complete, and wait until the reporting period is complete and you have given the 1 year report for you to be eligible for the next application cycle. So consider that for one to be, if you're already having the running projects, do not just know that you have to first complete that for you to qualify for this program. So what have we covered from the time we started this in our project right now? I mean, in the webinar, we have talked about the community development grant program, when it started, and so far where we are at. And you already know that we have two different types, award types, seed grant and growth grant. And for this particular one, we are talking about the seed grant. The amount you are supposed to apply for, it's 1,000 or 100 to 1,000 US dollars. That should be your cap, what you are requesting from WMI once you write your proposal. General eligibility requirements, as a WMI scholar, we have talked about that. And we have also talked about requirements related to the proposal grant ideas that you want to implement. So try to examine yourself within that. And for other write-ups, we shall be availing you after this webinar. For those who will be interested in applying for this grant, we will be providing you more details on where to get other resources to aid your preparation for this October application cycle. So if you have questions, you will be placing it on the Q&A section. So let's look at the application timeline. As I mentioned before, we have 2 cycles, and the good news here is that the next application cycle is opening very soon. We have April and October. So you will be benefiting from the October cycle. It is a requirement for one to attend the webinar. And if you are here, just know you have already check your eligibility and requirements. Number 1 has already been ticked. That is attending webinar, the information webinar, to disseminate the information and being part of the team, I mean, part of the webinar participants. 2, 1, show your interest, because if you had not come in, we will not know that you are interested in applying for this grant. Only when we are, sorry, only when the application period, I mean, only when we are in the application period, you are able to apply for this grant. Because at this moment, even if you go to our website, you are not able to apply until the October 1st. That's when you will be able to start the application process. But for the meantime, you can go to the website and read more about the application procedures and download the materials to prepare for the October application cycle, which is starting on October 1st. Now, specific dates related to the application cycle has already been published on the Community Development Grants page. You will read more about this. We'll also be sending you information in regards to that when the due date is coming for those who have shown an interest. What should you be doing right now as an interested applicant in this seed grant cycle? Confirming your eligibility. And if you have any other question that I've not covered in the eligibility and the requirements, you will be placing it on the question and answer session for me to answer, and others you'll be writing directly to me to give you individual feedback on it. You should be thinking about your proposal, your grant proposal ideas, what you want to do to transform your community, identifying your community needs, and trying to conduct a survey or doing a pre-assessment on the initiative that you want to implement or grant proposal that you want to write about. Now, confirming your grant proposal idea meets eligibility requirements, you have to also be thinking about it. And if you have any question, you have an idea, you are not sure whether the idea meets the eligibility requirements, you will be writing to me to ensure that we discuss and see, examine your idea and seeing that it meets the eligibility requirements. So start thinking about it. Start crafting something down. Make sure your ideas are coming along so well and you're falling within your area of studies. So let's go to the application cycle. We have round 1 and round 2 application cycles that we review for those who are progressing. And the steps in the application process is, number 1 is determining your eligibility as a WMI scholar. As a WMI scholar, I've already told you, if you're a graduate in good standing, that is step number 1, check. If you're completing by December 31st this year, check. Step number 2, confirm that your proposal idea meets the eligibility. Write early, let's talk about it prior to your submission so that you don't get a denial letter or a feedback for not being within the eligibility. Now, step number 3 is preparing yourself or preparing your application for round 1. And this will include the following: written application proposal. And we have 3 different written application, proposal guidelines that I will be showing in the next slide. But for now, let's the thing number 1 is written proposal. You have to make it in Word, and after documenting your information, writing your proposal very well in Word, you will now convert it to PDF and submit. There is also planning timeline template, which is on the grant page. You can go and download. It's specific for the seed grant. There's a budget template that you will be using for your application application, and you should also download it from the website. There's official application form, which is also on the website, but also I will be sending you those application questions prior to your preparation. So after this webinar, some of these materials will be sent to you, but also you can go on to the WMI Community Development Seed Grant webpage. Then you read more about this. You can download it. If you don't, if I delay to send you these guidelines. Then the optional documents that will be provided, that you will be documenting and giving us as support documents. The proof of your NGO status or business registration status, or official letter of financial implications from you to show cause that yes, we are legally already operating, or official letter of pledges coming from your partnerships, or somebody who wants to give you a support and has already pledged to give you. You can ask such an individual or such an organization to give you a simple letter showing that, yes, I will be supporting your ideas and supporting in this area, either financial or cash or participating physically into your program. So those support documents should be part of what you will provide. It is not compulsory, but it's worthy you submitting them, because it is also very important that we know that your idea is also being supported by some other individuals within your community. Step number 4 will be completing your application. And this should be done within the deadline day. If you are ready and you're ready to submit your application by by October 1st, the application cycle, the application link will be open, and then you will be able to upload your application. The deadline for this particular cycle will be October 16th, and you will have submitted by that date. If you don't submit by that date, anything that comes after that day will want to be eligible for support. So take note of the deadline. We have so many applications coming in, so we want to encourage you to work within the timeline so that we review this together. So let's look at some of the materials or resources that you will need to create this application. We have resources for you, well documented, and you will be able to download them and use them during this application cycle. There are 3 different written proposal guidelines for you. For those interested in starting an NGO, CBO, or group, you want to create a group or you want to support a group, there is a specific written application proposal guideline to that effect. Those who are applying for business expansion, business income generating activities, or expanding your business, there's also a specific proposal guidelines meant for that. Then those who are intending to do one-time event, community event projects, like medical camp that will not be repetitive, there is also a specific written proposal guideline that you will have to use. Do not mix up the 3. Start by identifying your idea, the grant proposal idea, and after identifying the grant proposal idea, check which category do you fall. Is it under CBO, NGO, group creation, or is it business or income generating activity? It may be for supporting the NGO. That business, if it is an income generating activity and to support the NGO work that you're doing, or the group that you're doing, that one you will still pick the business or income generating proposal guidelines, so that you are working within the required guidelines, not mixing up the 2 to make your application not eligible. So select and download from the website. It is there, and we shall. If I'm going to send generic all this form, guidelines, but for you to identify which one, you can contact me and say, my interest is in business or income generating activity proposal guidelines. I want the specific one. So I will still send for you the specific written proposal guidelines. So take note of that. Then you have to be adhere to the written proposal guidelines, because it has detailed on what we want you to cover and to reduce on the time, on the questions, putting you back to say, okay, after review, we have found that you have not done A, B, C, D. But if you have followed that step by step, it will reduce on some of the feedback questions that we shall be asking from you. So make sure the title page, the extract, the need assessment, the SMART goals and objectives, the activities and partnerships are well documented. And you also have to create in that written proposal guidelines, you will see a sample of monitoring and evaluation matrix that you will have to sample from. In your proposal, you will have to look into what you are going to assess. Also, that will form the basis of your SMART goal, because if you are not able to assess and evaluate your own proposal right from the onset, then you will know that your goal and objectives are not SMART. So we'll be talking about this. The SMART goal is one of the materials that you will find. And if you want me to send you a specific SMART goal handout, I will also send it to you, but you can access this from the website. There is also successful application tips on successful application, which is also available as a resource for you on the website. Take note, actually go to the website and get more of the materials and resources that will help you within this period as we prepare for the next, for the grant opening, application opening on 1st of October. So all these application templates has got specific lines, and we have planning timeline that you need to use. It is only WMI Community Development Grants Department will only receive a planning timeline which is within, which have been downloaded and picked from our template, not what you will create from other sources. This is very straightforward for you and to guide you. It is an Excel sheet and it indicates the project stages and task and responsibility, who is going to do what, at which point, which date, end date, and the results likely to be achieved in that task that the person is going to execute. If, for example, step number 1, preparation of the application, is going to be done by who? Maybe let me pick one of the participants here. Maybe it's going to be, let me use success. The success will be preparing the applications, the grant proposal between 1st of October to 2nd of October. 1st October is the start date. 2nd October is the end date. The results, the proposal, written proposal completed by success. That is how you will fill the description of in the timeline. So make sure all the activities that you're going to do, including when the grant is already been approved, when we are launching the grant, when you're implementing the activity, who is conducting what, who is executing which responsibility within your grant implementation should be documented to detail. When are you likely to close the grant? If it is running for 12 months, by which date of the month, of the 12th month, will the grant be completed or the project be completed? So this has to be documented in that planning timeline. Then the budget, we have specific budget template, which is in Excel as well. They have all been computed, and your work is to create a list of revenue sources, either in kind or monetary or otherwise. If somebody is coming to do physically supporting your project, still you have to document it as an in-kind donation or support. If somebody is giving you a particular item to support to support your project budget, then you will actually list it under your revenue sources, and will enter in the revenue section. There is also the expense section, where you are supposed to create a list of itemized list of all the expenses that you are going to incur in the project implementation. So you will find that you'll find that every detail of the of what you're supposed to calculate or identify the expense figures on, it's already highlighted on our spreadsheet under budget, under expense items, expense sheet on the budget template. So make sure you go revise the template and see how you're going to formulate your budget, how you're going to generate your budget, the revenue and expenses. Please make sure you do not mix up these two. And in the written application proposal, you will only highlight that the budget is on the budget template. The timeline, the planning timeline is on the planning timeline sheet template. You will not again do it on your main written proposal. You'll just make a reference as it is. You will see it on the proposal guidelines. Then create a 12-month budget based on you or based upon the list of revenue sources and expenses. If your project is income generating business proposal, ensure that the part which is going to earn for you revenues on a monthly basis as you implement your project be documented. Try to project as much as possible to say, I will be this part of the business will be generating for me on averagely this amount of money. If I'm running a CBC or a lab business, like saying, okay, on the lab revenue, this is what we anticipate. And this is what we anticipate to also spend on the human resource. Well, this is what we anticipate to spend on the supplies to ensure this is running. So that when all that is done, you will be able to even see that as you progress with your budget projection, revenue projection, and expense projection, you will be seeing that there will be already some kind of flow of your project implementation and project success, because you will be able to identify whether your business will make for you income or it will only be giving you losses. So pay attention to that and create that 12-month budget. So finally, on the tips for application success, I've already told you we have very good material handout for you. Kindly review the Seed Grant Program page. You will find a lot of information that will aid your success of the application and give you a very less or least turnaround time. Download all the WMI templates to begin planning. All these are already live on our grant proposal website, grant page. So go there and download all this information and start planning your project. Take time to read the 5 tips for writing a successful proposal. They are all detailed there. There's a planning, detailed planning. There's local community involvement. There's measuring your outcome. We're calling it metrics or M&E, or monitoring and evaluation. There's sustainability, how you will make sure your project is sustainable. So this is very pivotal in your project proposal, because a project proposal without sustainability plan, it won't work. It won't work for you. It will just be a dream cast on the stone. So make sure you are trying to project how you're able to make sure this project is sustainable after the seed grant is awarded to you. And that is one of the areas we shall be examining deeply. Your direct involvement and should also be documented. How is Bonny Mark going to be directly involved in this project he is writing? Am I going to write it for somebody to implement it for me? Or am I going to be there from day 1 to day last? Because I want to see that the project is successfully implemented. I want to walk through step by step, because I identified this need within my community, and I want to ensure that it is successfully met. So make sure you go there and take time to read more of this. It will direct you and will give you an insight on how you can progress with your proposal. Connect with the WMI graduate scholars who are implementing seed grant. We have quite a number. And if you go to that page, you'll also see their testimonies. There are those who implemented the seed grant before, and those who are currently implementing. Reach out to them and try to learn from them what areas you can borrow leave from them and how you can make sure yours also is implemented successfully. We do a spotlight, a spotlight for those who are implementing the seed grant and growth grant. And you will also see from our website how amazing some of these projects are. In this webinar, we shall be playing for you one awardee who have received a seed grant and did an amazing job, And at the end of this, you will be able to see that this $1,000 can go a long way to create an impact within your community. So I will allow you to ask questions at the right time. As in the next slide, we shall be now just getting you to answer specific questions. So application process, beyond round 1 submission, I'd already told you we will be having a lot of check and balances and trying to make a follow-up. So for us, let's look at some of these specific things that you will find in our webpage. You will find round 1 application, and this round one application is reviewed and the feedback is provided to you. Once you submit your proposal from December 1st to, from October 1st to 16th, it will be reviewed and a feedback will be given to you within the specific date, which has already been enlisted on our webpage, and all those timeline, you will see them there via email. Detailed feedback after the review. Then schedule and attend an online coaching session. After the feedback has been given to you, you will be able to have a one-on-one coaching session with me and other support team that will be helping me get back to you as an individuals. We shall have this journey work together as we review your first round one application. Then you will be required to revise your application and supporting document and submit it in round two. And the specific details will be provided for that in the subsequent mails that we'll be sharing. After submission of your round two proposal, it will also be reviewed and the awards will be announced. And once the award has been announced, then you'll be asked to complete the award agreement form and sending funds detail form. After this is done, we'll arrange for your pre-funding calls, taking you through what you are supposed to be reporting on and how you will be reporting, and also introducing to you the M&E metrics that would have been generated for you following the extract of your written proposal. And for those who will be doing things to do, there are proposals that will require surveys. We will also be working with you for those who will submit proposals that requires a pre-survey and a post-survey to understand the knowledge of the beneficiaries. This will also be done during the pre-funding calls prior to the award sending the award funds later in the early in January. So the award funds will be sent, and if you are planning to implement your project, all the implementation period in your planning timeline should start from January, because that is when the funds will be wired to you. If you want now going on ground to do the project, starting to procure everything that relates to your project, just be sure the award will be sent for those successful in January 2023. So there will also be required monthly reporting. Immediately after you have received funds in the first month, you will begin to report on a monthly basis. And we give you extra 1 week or 7 days to that effect to compile all your reports, all your activities, making sure that all the receipts are together and you're submitting it for the previous month that you have implemented the project within the first week of a new month. Of course, we send reminders on the first day of every month, giving you that reminding you of the obligations of sending a report. Then we shall also be having a Zoom check-in calls to ensure that we are matching this journey together with you. If after receiving your report, we shall do analysis and give you a check-in call to discuss some of the key areas that perhaps you're not doing well, and also highlight to you the areas you're doing well, so that you know in the implementation process you are implementing your project as per the written proposal, as per the project design. So we shall be also sending you proposal implementation photos. How you you will be sending us project implementation photos, because we want to know how you're going to do this, how the activities are going. Some of the beautiful photos you have been seeing on these slides are actually your fellow scholars implementing those amazing projects. See that, for example, this one sent in, prove that, yes, I received the funds are benefiting the beneficiaries, and this is how exciting the whole program is going. Those photos will be required that you send over as part of your report. That one will come at the monthly. I mean, you can send us periodically as they're being taken, and we'll be excited to see some of these photos coming up in your first month of implementation, second month, as we go through this this implementation period. But also be taking short video clips as you implement this project. There are those moments where people are excited to receive this support. Make sure you're taking short video clips and also asking for their feedback on the project, how they are finding as part of your documentation. This will help you a long way in sending out your report. Now, work hard and succeed. We plan, we dream, we plan, and we do the dream. So let's work out on this, and all this will help us get to the next level of our lives and changing the community. So next steps will be sending you an email in regards to this webinar and giving you feedback on this webinar and giving you also this material and application templates. You are encouraged to review, as I mentioned, to review. Go to the grants webpage. And for this particular one, in my follow-up email, I will send you a specific link that will take you to the seed grant page, and you will be able to read, download all this information. If you have any question regarding your ideas, please do not hesitate to write to me. Write to me. We discuss this together. We brainstorm how everything is going and make sure we are engaging so that your project ideas comes to fruition. Remember the deadline for submission. If anything else can be forgotten, don't forget the deadline for submitting the application by October 16th. We shall be taking questions if you have any, and make sure that you post it on our Q&A. I mentioned that there is a growth grant, and what is growth grant for you as you implement this project, as you apply for the seed grant? Remember, growth grant is a one-time grant that is given to support the growth of your initiative. It's a one-time grant that gives you up to the tune of $5,000 US. But this is for those who have successfully implemented the seed grant. So as you implement, as you create the seed grant, remember the possibility of getting a growth grant at the end of the day. It is meant to expand, grow your seed grant initiative. That is the key. And it's one time and should be for your capital investment or procurement of new machines, or resource to increase your staffing. If you want to expand your staffing, assuming your business is already running and seed grant has made it possible that it's running very well, you will be eligible to apply for this this growth grant. And just it starts now, does not start when you have already completed the seed grant. Your eligibility starts now as you apply for this seed grant. Now, key requirement on the growth grant, because it is growth, it is not seed. Now, since it is growth, one is that you must have successfully implemented seed grant for the same ongoing project. So your idea you're developing in the seed grant should be an idea that should be ongoing, or should be a program that should be ongoing, or should be for your CBO section of your CBO or your business growth, and that will be given success. That will be given support. Then remember that in this you will have to show cause the metrics for your for the initial idea for your growth. For your seed grant, reviewing the initial goal that you started with the seed grant, and the objectives and the metrics and seeing how far the seed grant has helped you grow your initiative. So all this and more you can find from our group, but for now we will be focusing on the seed grant page. So, well, I know we have done so much. We've done so much. Let me see if there are questions you have asked so that we can run through them quickly. Can I have a grant proposal where I am able to have partnership with other organizations? The answer is yes. I've already covered this, and I say we encourage partnership. Partnership in your project or proposal on your grant implementation is way welcome. If you feel you have somebody who is going to give you a matching grant on the amount you are requesting from WMI, if you are requesting the entire 1,000, and another organization is able to give you 1,000, another organization is able to give you 500, then please go ahead. We will document them and make sure it is part of your revenue sources in your application proposal. And then can WMI support projects that are fintech related? Yeah, fintech related projects, yes, it is possible, so long as you're meeting the eligibility requirements. We said it should be within the area of your study. And if this is falling within your area of study, then definitely it will be supported and it will be funded. What if my one-time project is a business or income generating project? Now, one-time project is a business and income. A business and income generating is a continuous activity. This cannot be a one-time project. A one-time project is a community event where you are hosting educational session and that is it. Maybe you are not repeating it anymore. So if it is a business and income generating, then we assume it is an ongoing project that will continue to live on over and over again for a longer period of time. If you apply for a one-time health camp and in the next cycle you want to change to income generating project, is it possible? Now, that the one-time medical camp that you have applied for is the one-off. You do not qualify for the growth grant, but you can still apply for the seed grant to now start it as an income generating activity. So you will be eligible. You can apply for seed grant after the completion of the one-time event successfully, and you're changing the idea into income generating activity. So you will still be required to apply for the seed grant, not the growth grant. So you'll be eligible for the seed grant. A new WMI scholar is eligible to apply for the seed grant community service. If you're a new WMI scholar and you are still a scholar, you are not eligible at this point. You are only eligible when you're in the last semester of your study. That's when you will be eligible to apply for this seed grant. There are specific areas where a person is required to implement. Yes, there are specific areas in line, the specificity is actually in line with your area of study. If WMI has supported you in the field of study of medicine, then much of your project will be focused on in that area, but it is broader. We talked about economic empowerment, we talked about the healthcare, we talked about so many, and many of this information are available on the seed grant webpage, and you can read more from there. But yes, it is specific to your area of study primarily, yes. I think I've answered most of your questions. If there is any question which have not been answered satisfactorily, kindly write to me the email that you have already provided to you in various posts that I've made, and then I will be directly responding to your specific questions regarding your project ideas. And if you're not yet sure, or you're not very content that yes, maybe my idea qualifies, or it may not be qualifying may not be eligible for funding, please do write to me and I will be in position to respond specifically to your questions. So if there is no another question, I'll be pleased to just have the assistant director just give a recap, a remarks on this webinar and just greet you all the participants, and then I will bid you the best of the weekend. Nicole, if you're in position, kindly.
Yes, hello everyone. So I'm here as webinar tech support today. We sometimes wear many different hats in different roles. So thank you everyone for attending. There was really high attendance today, which makes me feel very excited for the fact that you all probably have many really unique, helpful, and exciting ideas to participate in this program of ours, which we feel is really fundamental to your growth and your leadership and development as a professional in your local communities. So I hope you will connect directly with Bonny Mark via email, as that is our official means of communication, and ask any questions, seek any help, hop on a call with him if one can be arranged, so that you are putting your best foot forward for our application cycle. But as we have 4 minutes left, I am going to share my screen once again, and I'm going to show the video that Bonny Mark mentioned of Sospiter in Tanzania, a recent seed grant awardee who has created a video showcasing what he's implemented, the impact, and also talking about his experience. So without further ado, give me a moment and I will queue up this video for everyone.
Hello, this is Hospital Nyagabono, WMI Scorer 2019-2021. I also WMI Community Development Seed Grant 2021-2022. I'm from Tanzania, implemented the project of sanitation improvement for a healthy community. We managed to reach our target by ensuring availability and sustainable access to safe and clean water, toilet and sanitation in the 5 primary schools. And this is one of the primary school which we have managed to reach our target within the community. We provided the training to health co-workers on infection prevention and control at the health centers, which minimize the infection within our community. With the WMI seed grant, we conducted 44 community health sessions and a demonstration focusing on prevention and the control of communicable disease and preparing safe drinking water by using 3-pot system and the importance of hand washing, cleanliness of the environment. And a demonstration of making these ranks. We managed to reach 2,220 community members. We provided training to health centers focused on utilization principles of standard precaution in healthcare setting and aseptic technique within the healthcare setting. We managed to donate 25 sato pan toilet to 5 primary school with 5 water tanks for hand washing. School children together with teachers are so much happier for having water and a good toilet for better sanitation. as long as they are not around here. Through this project, the community managed to lower the different communicable diseases by 95%, especially diarrhea and cholera. Thank you so much, WMI, for the community development seed grant. You have brought back our smile.
All right, thank you. So with that, I pass it over to you, Bonny Mark, to close out our webinar today, right on time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nicole, and thank you very much for everyone who has attended this webinar. We are pleased that you have shown in your interest, and we're looking forward to ensuring that we review your application and have this impact reached to our different communities. Have yourself a blessed week, and from all of us, from the Guans team, we are super excited. Dream, plan, and do.